What's going on, everybody? Timothy Wilkes here with Tito's Entertainment, and I came back with another person that Dragon Ball Super has ruined. The main person, and this actually started in Z, and they made it seem like Supreme Kai was freaking. It made it sound like he was an idiot. It made it seem something like he was incompetent, like something was wrong with him. He went from being a total, he went from being somebody that was feared, respected, to just being a pompous moron. They made him look just so. They ruined him within. It didn't even take a whole arc to ruin his character, because you got to think about it. They say he didn't know a lot of things, and he was an idiot or whatever, but he didn't know a lot of stuff, because you gotta understand, a lot of his mentors were slaughtered by Kid Buu. He didn't have any training. No one trained. It's like somebody. It's like, let's say if you working at a radio station or TV station, or you working at a McDonald's or Burger King, and everyone's just taken out. Now it's up to you to run the whole thing by yourself, with no prior training, no prior knowledge of anything, and you're left to run it all by yourself. So now you have to stumble around until you get it, until you figure it out. You might somewhat get it and understand it and come up with your own system, but there's going to be a lot of training that you missed out on. There's going to be a lot of things that you weren't taught or shown, because even Elder Kai said, he mentioned it in Z. If you guys go back and watch Dragon Ball Z, it said it seemed like you missed out on a lot of your training when Majin Buu had his during Majin Buu's rampage. After his rampage, when he went on killing all the Supreme Kais, it seemed like you missed out on a lot of your training. He mentioned that back then. So there's a lot of there's a lot of reasoning behind him not knowing a lot of things, and things that he should know, because Elder Kai knew a lot, because he was well trained, he was well prepared for that role. But Supreme Kai, he was thrust into that role because his mentors were slaughtered, so he had to take over, and he wasn't really fully trained properly, because everyone was killed, and so bam, he had to take over. He had to fill in it, and no one really was there to show him how to be a Supreme Kai. No one showed him any information. Bam, you're just like halfway through your childhood. Let's say you're 10 years old, and bam, both your parents are taken out, and you have to figure it out on your own. No one's there to teach you or coach you. You don't got no uncles, nothing like that. You just have to figure it out, and you might stumble around until you might get lucky enough to stumble around until you get it. But at the end of the day, you're gonna have a lot of things missing. You're gonna be underdeveloped in certain areas. You're gonna have a lot of weaknesses that people can exploit in the real world. People that have had a decent upbringing, that are fully developed, it's gonna be easier for them to probably take advantage of you or pick out. They might spot, okay, they're missing something in this area. They can't. There's gonna be certain things that you don't know that everyone else knows, and that you should know. So it's like they meme these characters up to be dumb or to be crazy or to be this and that. It's not really. Supreme Kai is not really dumb. He's not really weak, because he was. If you look at the guides and all that kind of stuff, he was said to be on the levels of Cell Saga Goku. So he was above Piccolo. He was around the same strength of Goku in the Cell Saga. He was above Piccolo, and he was. That's why he lasted mere seconds against Majin Buu. But he wasn't just a weakling. He was Master Super Saiyan level. You know what I'm saying? So he was weak compared to everyone in Super, because people in Super like Goku and Vegeta in Super, they were like Vegito level, and then they were above Vegito. And even in the Buu Saga, because you had Vegeta without the Majin power up, he was at least 10 Gohan Super Saiyan 2 level, and Goku, he was stronger than that. Goku was he was a lot stronger than Gohan was against Cell, and even as a Super Saiyan 2. But then he had the Super Saiyan 3, so he wasn't But say even Cell Shock Goku, that level of power is still not weak. It's weak compared to the characters and the main characters in the story, but it's not weak. Somebody like Frieza from the Namek Saga is a peanut. Somebody like Android 17, 18, they're peanuts. Let's say if the androids would have attacked. Alright, because we gotta stop calling people weak because they're weaker than the main cast. That don't mean they weak. They could still Android 17 and 18 from the Cell arc, they would get decimated. He can't beat Perfect Cell, but he could rip semi-perfect Cell a new one. He could have ended the android threat without barely breaking a sweat. The android threat was nothing for him. So everything up to the Cell arc he can handle until the Perfect Cell stuff. You know what I'm saying? So he's no weakling. He was even stronger than Future Trunks when he went back to his own time. The Supreme Kai was stronger than that version of Future Trunks. The one that beat the androids and all that and beat Imperfect Cell, Supreme Kai could wipe him out. So that's just showing you how strong he actually is. Because like I said, Cell Games Goku level, that's no weakling. That's not a weakling level. So, and that's from the actual guides and stuff like that. So it's not something I'm just making up. I had to verify it and all these things. I'm not just saying this kind of stuff. But they'll tell you where they were in power, even with the other Supreme Kai that got absorbed by Majin Buu. He was on God levels of power. They were massively stronger than Supreme Kai. Until he had to seal up Moro. He used most of his power to seal up Moro, but he was on ungodly levels of power. So he was weak when he had to fight Majin Buu. By the time he fought Buu, he could have easily wiped out Buu without breaking a sweat. But this is what I'm going by, the actual mangas, actual guys, actual. I'm not just making this up. It's not no fan service stuff. This is actually what they said in the Moro arc. If you actually go by the manga, and like I said, the guys, Cell Games Goku is still weak, but like the other Supreme Kais that fought Kid Buu and lost, they were like Super Saiyan 3 Goku level at least. You can see by how they fought, the way they fought Kid Buu. One of them, the big one that Buu absorbed and became Buff Buu, he was at least Super Saiyan 3 Goku level. So they were strong. They weren't weak. It's just the main cast is so strong. Because if you take Piccolo, Piccolo now is stronger than the Supreme Kai. I say Piccolo from the Tournament Power level. Because he's Super Saiyan 2 level. He's close to Super Saiyan 3 levels of power. Because he tapped out Super Saiyan 2 Gohan at full power. He tapped him out like it was nothing. So he's over Super Saiyan 2 easily. He's above SS2. But like I said, the Supreme Kai, his character was kind of ruined and misunderstood. They ruined him and they made him just like he was nothing in Super. Because it's like when the higher they go up to God tier, they make the person beneath them just insignificant. Just like how it started out with King Yama. King Yama was this big important guy until you got to King Kai, until you got to the Grand Kai, and then you got, so it made the North and South even, it made them Kais seem like they were nothing. You got the Grand Kai, then you got the Supreme Kai. It made them seem like they were nothing. It made everyone else seem like they were nothing. And then you got to, after the Majin Buu threat, Supreme Kai got so much disrespect. He was treated like he was nothing. And then you got all the way up until when Lord Beerus came. Now you got that hierarchy. You got the gods of destruction, and you got angels, and then you got lords. You got Grand Priest. Then you got Lord Zeno. Supreme Kai has no place really. They do, but I guess it's like they're even they are. It's like they go up and up and up and up and up. And I understand what they're trying to do, but I don't. Eventually, you're gonna eventually run out of space. That's what I'm saying. You're gonna run out of things. You're gonna run out of hierarchies and stuff, because we thought King Kai was at the top. Then they kept moving up and up and up and up and up. So eventually you're gonna run out. You're gonna run out of ideas, which is what they did. They ran out of ideas, and that's why they're not. That's why they're not freaking keep rehashing stuff, keep reassembling stuff, keep going back to different arcs in the past, because they've run completely out of ideas. And because Frieza had a high ruling place in the universe until you found out he was under Lord Beerus. He was just a servant of Lord Beerus. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, but the Supreme Kai, he was just, it's the way they treated his character. I don't like it, because the way he came in, he was feared. Piccolo was crapping his pants. You know what I'm saying? Because he used to be Kame. So the Kame and Piccolo, because just regular Piccolo, he wouldn't have cared who the Supreme Kai was. If you look back on it, the regular Piccolo would not have cared. But he was Kame. The Kame and Piccolo feared the Supreme Kai because, you know, he was the guardian of Earth, so he had a godlike position. So he knows the Kais and the Grand Kais and King Yama and all them. So he with his position, he fears those, because those levels are higher than his. So he knows he can acknowledge the Grand Kai, Supreme Kai, and all of them. Because he knows about the Grand Kai. He knows about the Supreme Kai too, but he thought the Supreme Kai was the Grand Kai at first. But he knew he was a god when the Kame in him knew. So, and some people said some people said that Piccolo was weird in the tournament when he fought against Supreme Kai and all that stuff. But the Kame, you gotta remember, he merged with Kame, so he's not gonna be the same Piccolo you once knew. He's gonna have some Nail in him. He's gonna have some Kame in him, and that's why he had problems with the Dragon Balls. You know what I'm saying? That's why he had a problem with how Bone was using the Dragon Balls, because he created the Dragon Ball. His other half created the Dragon Balls, so to see them used in that way, that disgusted him. That's why I understood why he was acting like that in the movie. You know, that's what you use the Dragon Balls for. You shouldn't be using them for those reasons. That was Kame talking. You know, 'cause I understand Dragon Ball. That's how I can tell you why it sucks. I can tell you what sucks, what's good, what's bad. I understand it through and through. And that's why I said I don't think the Supreme Kai was turned into a meme, even though he had reasons for being a meme. He had reasons for not knowing things, because his mentors were slaughtered. He didn't have any training. He couldn't. Who was going to train him? No one else around knew anything about Supreme Kai stuff. He didn't have a Goasu around showing him what needed to be learned about being a Supreme Kai. He didn't have anybody to teach him. Just like a child having to grow up on his own with no parenting. He had to figure out on his own. You might stumble around and look up and get it, but you're going to be missing a lot of pertinent information that an adult should know. Some things you're going to miss out on a lot of training, and it might look like you got it together, but when people ask you questions or when people test your competence, you're gonna have some things missing. There's gonna be a lot you didn't know, because you had to kind of squiggle and wiggle around and figure it out on your own. That's what he had to do. So even though he knew he knew he was a Supreme Kai, and he had some years to squirm around and figure it out, but without the proper teaching, without the proper instruction, I mean, a lot of things he didn't know when it came to he didn't have the proper training. Just like you could flail around at your house and stumble around and learn martial arts and watch videos and try to squirm around and figure it out, but until you have a proper teacher, that's why future Gohan wasn't as strong as present Gohan, because future Gohan, present Gohan was trained by Son Goku. Future Gohan was trained by Piccolo, but present Gohan had the training from Goku. Goku taught him everything that he knew. He taught him about everything. How to counter all his friends' attacks, how to counter his attack. Why do you think he did so well against Cell when he turned Super Saiyan 2? He knows Goku taught him everything, because Goku's good at stealing moves, and he taught him how to counter all his friends' attacks. So everything the Cell Juniors, everything Cell threw at him, he already knew about it and how to have a defense against it. He was taught that. He learned that. It's just why he knew how to dude, when it came to what was his name, Basil, he came up with a defense against Basil, the barrier, because once he sees an attack and feels it, he learns how he knows how to counter it. That's the training he got from Goku. But anyway, that goes back to Supreme Kai. He didn't have proper training. He didn't have proper mentorship. So it's not that he was an idiot. They're trying to make him like it make everyone dumb in Super. I don't know what that is. I'm not understanding that. They turn everyone into an idiot, turn everyone into a moron, and it's not the case. Just like Goku, he wasn't an idiot in Z. He wasn't dumb. He was just, like I said, he was just not familiar with civilization and how society works. He was just a Saiyan that wants to fight. He just liked to fight because he grew up fighting in tournaments. He grew up training with his best friend Krillin. He went around the world making friends and making allies and doing what it took to protect his friends, and even saving the world on occasion. Even though that wasn't his goal or mission, what he was trying to do, he indirectly saved the world. But a lot of times he was just trying to protect his friends. And like when he went after the Red Ribbon Army, he was just trying to bring his friend back to life who had been killed. So I'd say it's for his friend, his dad, because Mercenary Tyrant killed was it Upa? It was the Indian. He killed his father, and he used the Dragon Balls to bring him back to life. So a lot of times he was doing stuff to protect his friends or to save his friends, and he had inadvertently saved the world on several occasions. So, but like I said, the Supreme Kai is heavily. I might as well make this a video about different people, but like he's one of the characters they ruined. Like Krillin, they just turned him into a coward. But I'll talk about him in another video. I don't know, man. I have more people to talk about. I just wanted to do the Supreme Kai today. I might do Krillin later or tomorrow or who knows. But all I'm saying is they destroyed his character, and it didn't have to be that way. They could have kept him to be as fearsome as he was when he fought Piccolo. This man fought Majin Buu. He challenged Majin Buu. He fought him head on, knowing there was a chance he could die. You see what I'm saying? So, in turn, I don't know what they did with Supreme Kai. And his design even looks ugly, and his design looks horrible in Super. He just looks like a little kid. It's weird. And I'm not understanding why they made him out to be like this. Especially now, since he has Elder Kai. You think they'd make him a little bit smarter and more educated on things and how things work, because he has the Elder Kai there to mentor him and show him things. I'm just not understanding why they make him like this. Because if you go to even in Dragon Ball GT, he was a lot better. He was more competent. He had more usefulness in GT than he did. Even though he was Kibito Kai, he had more usefulness in GT than he does in Super. It's weird. I'm not understanding none of this. It doesn't make any sense at all to me. They should just it's a lot of these characters, like, they don't know what to do with them, and so they turn them into either wimps, sissies, or cowards, and they turn Krillin into a sissy in Super. I don't like it. I just don't like it, because he wouldn't normally he wouldn't hesitate to get involved, but it's just weird, man. I don't know. I don't like it. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Do y'all think Supreme Kai is justified in being the way he is? Do y'all agree with my reasoning and my answers? Just let me know. But if not, y'all disagree, just let me know too. I would like to have a discussion about it. T-Dubs Entertainment, signing out.